Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Speaking Nerd podcast. Welcome, gamers, gals, and goobers. Let's talk about the Summer Game Fest.
Goobers.
All the exciting video games that are coming our way. How's
Yes.
that
Sorry,
for an intro?
I literally call my dog Goober.
So it's just like, who's a goober?
The goopy ones.
So, um, so yeah, Summer Games Fest happened. By the time this comes out, yesterday, me and Swifty streamed the whole thing. We watched the whole conference, the whole 2 hours of it, which well, we'll get into that. But yeah, so we're not talking about Spider Verse today. Alter's not here, and I kind of wanted him to be part of the conversation, so we're just going to talk about this instead. Build up anticipation, kind of like what we did for the Batman, even though that was way later than it should have been.
Okay, let's try to repeat that.
What's that?
Said let's try to repeat that.
Okay. So anyway, we have a list of all the Summer Game Fest stuff. We're mainly just gonna talk about what's most interesting, which is like the first five things, honestly. But
Yeah, really.
we'll get through it. So first thing I want to talk about, because I showed this to Swifty earlier, Prince of Persia is getting another game, which
Yes!
is which is not the remake.
No, it's not, which is pissing me off as well, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But it is really good to, you know, get, uh, get another game in the franchise that's like, an original
Sure.
game.
Yeah, I agree. I miss Prince of Persia, but like Sands of Time is, for me, one of the greatest games of all time. And
Oh, I agree. Since I'm an all time.
yes, we got a win! Let's go! I didn't know you were a Prince of Persia guy.
Oh, I am.
How
Well
the
now,
hell have we
well
been
now you
friends
know.
for 3 years, and I didn't know. That's awesome. Yeah,
It's probably because we haven't had any reason to bring up Prince of Persia.
yeah.
There's
Well,
a
now
lot
you
of
do.
things you don't know about me, Swifty.
Well, I know you're a woman, so. I'm sorry, I told everyone. Damn it.
Yeah,
Can we leave it in,
and you
AJ? Is
still,
that okay?
and you still can't get me.
I can't get anybody.
So this game is 2D. It's not 3D at all.
That's cool for me. It's a nice change of pace.
It's
We
not.
were just talking about that
Yeah.
today.
It's not trying to be like classic Prince of Persia, where you're like, where it takes like 10 frames of animation just to climb up a ledge. It reminds me more of Strider in a way. If you guys ever played that, probably not.
I
But
haven't, but
Yeah,
I know what it is.
yeah, you know what's right.
that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
But the trailer looked really cool. I ended up not watching this live because I had to go away from the stream and help.
Yeah.
I had to help go bring in groceries, so I missed this and I missed the Mortal Kombat 1 trailer, which
Yeah.
is a shame. But yeah, this game looks pretty cool.
Again,
Yeah, yeah, we did go back and watch it. But yeah, Prince of Persia looks really cool. Never played a Prince of Persia game, and I'm really excited to see what they do with the remake, even though it's been restarted in development, which I don't understand why, but these things happen. So this is a good game to kind of, I guess, hold us over until whatever they're doing with
What was
Sands of
give a
Time.
release date?
It says early next year.
Yeah,
Okay.
January 18th, 2024.
Yeah, because I'm assuming like we're gonna be waiting a while for Sands of Time, considering it's been scrapped and redone. So
So the
hopefully
next,
this is a nice tie over here.
yeah, I'm sure it'll just. Hopefully it's a nice like sub series of games where like
Yeah.
where they can go with the whole 2D thing and make it high intense action and stuff. So it looks fun. So I mentioned Mortal Kombat, but before we get to that, I want to mention an announcement that I know AJ will like. There's a new 2D Sonic game coming out.
Yes, I saw. It's
Dude,
I am always really excited about more 2D Sonic, especially since it's the one thing that Sega cannot mess up. Um, plus like the last 2D Sonic game we had was incredible. So this really excites me. Plus the art style of it, I really like.
Yeah, it's not pixelated It's
Yeah.
not pixelated this time. They're actually going more like 3D, kind of like 2.5D in a way. And
Yeah, it's a good in between, and it just looks like a really fun game.
the beginning of the trailer, like we were watching it, and I'm just like, oh, Sonic is here. And when he shifted over to 3D, I'm like, oh wait, are they remaking Sonic? Like the first like few Sonic games, I'm like, no, that can't be it. And then they showed off new stuff, and I'm just like, man, this looks awesome. Like I want to play this. And yeah, no, I can't. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm just really glad it's coming out this year too. Just makes me really happy. To just get more Sonic content, because I wasn't sure how long it was going to take them to make another Sonic game after Frontiers.
Yeah. I mean, as far as games, yes. I mean, we've got like the Netflix show and the movies and stuff happening.
Oh
But
yeah,
as far as
I know.
games, I agree. So
We're not starving for like other media content, but it's been pretty slow on the games.
yeah. But it's nice.
Yeah,
It's nice that we have classic Sonic back again after not counting Origins. We haven't seen him since Mania and Forces.
We don't talk about Origins. Don't talk about Origins.
It's
Also,
getting a re-release this month.
Also, we have to talk about the levels in Superstars look so fun.
Yeah.
And so inventive and so creative, but it also retains that classic Sonic charm.
There was a bit at the end I really liked where they were pixelated 3D models that turned into like squids and stuff. I was like, they went through some portal
really
or whatever. I'm just like, man, that looks really fun. Now I want to see more of this.
Yeah, like who worked on this game? Like, can they just do all the Sonic games with the Mania people too?
Yeah. Can we get good Sonic games?
Yes, can we get good Sonic games? It would be nice.
It would be nice, yeah.
It would be really nice.
I hope we stick to this motto of like going back and forth between 3D and 2D Sonic.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Because there's different parts of the Sonic fandom that prefer different types. I love both. And I think there should be a place for both. And it's good to go between both of them because it keeps them creative. Plus 2D Sonic games are so much fun.
They're fun, yeah. I said this in the stream, and I'm like, this is what Sonic 4 should have been.
I mean, really, yeah.
We're finally getting it, episode 3.
Yeah, can we just call this, episode, all of it, just all of it?
Yeah.
It
But
can replace it in the canon.
Right. Yeah, and that canon is already confusing enough as is, but whatever.
That's true.
So yeah,
It's video games.
So it comes out. I think they said it was this year.
In fall.
In fall.
Yes, the fall. Yeah.
So I'm definitely gonna play this. I know Swifty, you said you were interested.
I'm gonna play it immediately, like first day.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm 100% interested. It looked great. And I want to get more into Sonic because I played a lot of like computer games when I was a kid,
Mhm.
which is not even scratching the surface of Sonic 4. So I'd love to like get into it like this. And it's on PlayStation 5, so it's like perfect for me.
Yeah. I think it was also. It said it was on previous gen too, so you can get it on Xbox One, PS4,
Oh, perfect.
that kind
Well,
of
that would
thing.
be good for me as well.
Yeah.
Ah!
Pr-
Yeah, Microsoft's a lot better at that than
true. True.
than Sony.
Yeah, definitely looking forward. Fall's gonna be like packed with stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. We'll get to one of our things that it's going to be packed with later. Um,
Next, I wanted to talk about MK for a second because it got a gameplay trailer, and this looks fun.
yeah, it does.
It's keeping it 2D, which is, I guess, most fitting in this
Yeah.
era. The story looks interesting with them kind of resetting the whole timeline and having these wild versions of the characters, like Raiden as this young like Shaolin looks pretty interesting.
It's a really interesting direction to go with the series too.
Yeah, I saw a thing on right before the trailer played. It said something about Scorpion and Sub-Zero being brothers, and I'm kind of curious to see how that turns out within the grand scheme of this game. But the
I mean, I think if it does well, it could definitely revitalize the series.
yeah. But the gameplay looks fun. The cast of characters looks like a riot to try out. I'm really interested to see what they do with these assist characters, or I forget the name that they call them. But I was telling Swifty it was just the combat, even though it's very Mortal Kombat. It reminds me a little bit of Killer Instinct in a way. He just has
Yeah,
sort of that flashy
that's
kind of,
fair.
yeah. Which if you guys not played, which if you haven't played Killer Instinct like the new one, go check it out. It's good. But yeah, it was a nice showcase, and I'm really excited for this game to come out in September.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do Speaking Nerd on it. Maybe
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Alan Wake 2.
Yes, let's please.
This was good. This was a good, nice, small showcase.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised that I'm as invested in it as I am because, again, I never played the first one. Grew up seeing the picture of the game in the Xbox store as a kid, and it always looked interesting, but kind of freaky, to be honest. So I was like, I don't know if I really want to give it a chance. Or kind of looked like a throwaway game, maybe. Like I'd download it and I wouldn't enjoy it. But
Yeah.
the second game looks great. When I saw the first thing at the PlayStation Showcase, I was invested then, and now this gameplay sealed it. I'm definitely buying this game, and I will also play the first one.
It looks like a good mesh of Last of Us and RE4, like as far
Oh,
as
absolutely.
gameplay.
It looks
Yeah.
fantastic.
It does, yeah. I like the visual style. I like that, this environment particularly is like very dirty and run down.
Yeah.
You just
Plus,
see the dust particles in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like when the wind was blowing,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the tree branches were moving, and the leaves were flying, and the grass was flowing with the air. It was great, and I think it's cool that you can switch between two characters. I think that's interesting that they're going that direction. So we'll see how it pans out. But AJ, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say. Plus, I really love these types of games. They're there's something I can really just dive into and have a lot of fun with.
yet you have not played The Last of Us. You bastard. No, I know you don't have a PlayStation.
Soon enough. Soon enough.
I will. I'm gonna get it on computer soon.
Oh, that's right. It is on PC. Forgot about that.
Yeah. Roll credits.
Yeah.
Credits.
This has been a really good year for horror games, I've noticed. Because we've got this coming out. We had Dead Space, which everybody raved. Resident Evil 4.
I've never played Dead Space before.
I own the remake. I haven't touched it yet. So
Plus, we're getting Nicolas Cage.
that's right. That's right. It was so funny seeing him on stage, like because I remember this weeks ago was when they showed off, like, oh, Nicolas Cage is in Dead by Daylight, but then they showed gameplay, and I'm like, okay, it makes sense why he's here, and we were joking about it the whole time watching it. It's just like, it's like I'm gonna Superman punch him so good.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember I was Ghost Rider? You know, it's fun. I always like Dead by Daylight doing these like weird crossover type like. So now I can actually see Nicolas Cage fight Michael Myers.
Well, yeah,
It'd be cool.
Dead by Daylight is basically like Smash Bros for horror games now, and it's great. It's great.
Yeah. Speaking of horror, I know you guys probably didn't see this, but they announced on Twitter that Friday the 13th, the game is getting delisted.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting
Yeah,
delisted by the end of this year, and then it's getting shut down by the end of next year.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
But we might have another game on the way for Friday the 13th, which makes
really?
me yeah.
Did they give any information about it?
Harry Manfredini accidentally leaked it out.
That is typical.
It makes me excited that we might see something within like this year, like within the coming months.
That would be great.
That would be good. It's good to have Friday back. Like it's good to see them actually doing stuff again.
I really wanted them to make a movie. Like, I mean, I could easily see like either Blumhouse or Radio Silence doing a Friday the 13th movie.
Yeah.
What the hell is Blumhouse? You mean Blumhouse, my brother?
Blumhouse, same difference.
Yeah, brother, they're completely different words.
No, they aren't.
Bloom and Blum, bro. There's no E in Blumhouse.
I didn't say there was an E.
We know what he meant.
You bastard! It's okay. He's out of line. Let's kill him.
You know
He's crazy.
You know what's funny? His name is probably pronounced Blum. But you just
It's
don't
not.
know.
I've heard it spoken before. I've heard the words uttered.
You know what though? You know what, I've done that too, where it's just like, oh, Blumhouse is making another movie, and I'm like, oh fuck.
I mean, also, Josh, I've heard it both ways.
Okay, weird.
No response.
Not him.
Speaking of horror, I don't know if you guys had any last minute things for Alan Wake or Dead by Daylight or whatever. No?
We do not.
Okay.
No.
John Carpenter is working on a new game
Yeah.
where he's partnering with a studio. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando is a thing that is happening, and it looks it looks really fun.
It does. Plus, like, if you attach John Carpenter's name to it, you gotta check it out. You're obligated.
Yeah. We were watching it. I'm like, is this Thing? Like, it looks kind of like Thing. And then the zombie showed up, and I'm just like, okay, this isn't Thing, but it looks really cool.
It's still got the same sensibilities.
Yeah. Yeah. I was telling him too, like, it's so cool that we have somebody of that caliber and of that age just being a complete nerd. It's just like, oh yeah, we're going to work
Oh,
on a video
absolutely.
game
Yeah,
because we can.
John Carpenter like never stopped being a child,
Yeah.
which is great, and that's why he's one of the greatest filmmakers ever, and just one of the greatest creative minds.
Yeah.
And this game is going to be incredible,
It looks so much. It looks like a lot of fun.
especially since it retains like the '80s vibe of his most popular movies.
Hmm. Yeah, it does have that like 80s sensibility to it, which is great for horror, I'd say.
Hmm. I mean, like the '80s era of horror, I'd say is like the most, palpable and is was a wonderful time for horror,
Mm.
and is where we got some of the best parts of horror, like you know like Freddy and Jason, obviously,
Mm.
and I mean obviously the
Okay, he died.
Yeah, I just cut out again.
was such a great era.
Yeah, it was
Just,
a
just had to make that preface so no one would come after me and say I'm not a true horror fan.
it was a very interesting time because it was filled with a lot of trial and error.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that was what the '80s were in general.
Especially with its fashion sense, but
It's true.
Oh God, don't
But
get me
you know what?
started on that.
You know what it also gave us?
What?
Dream Warriors.
that's right.
Dream Warriors, baby. Dream Warriors. I will never stop loving that movie.
It's great.
Yeah, you know what the '80s also gave us? Come on, guess.
I have no idea where you're going with this.
Dream Master.
Dream,
Um,
Dream Child,
70s gave us my mother, my beautiful mother. It was 70s.
Dream Child.
You know, we don't talk about the other Dream
Yeah, no, we do because they're also 80s and
sequels.
they're also dreams.
Yeah, that's what we call
You
a
gave
bad
us-
dream.
You gave us those too, my friend.
We talked about this, Josh. We talked about this in therapy.
The only Nightmare movies worth watching is the first movie, the third movie, and New Nightmare.
Nah,
Well,
the
really,
second
the-
one's pretty good. I like the second one.
Second
It's
one's
cool that it's not.
second one's weird. It's a
It is
weird
really
movie.
weird, but I like it.
Well,
It's like a
well, you
fever
mean it's
dream.
very gay?
That is,
Dude,
it
I
is
think
that
it's
too.
Great. I think it's really good.
You know where,
It's a lot of fun.
you know how we're gonna beat Freddy this time? Just have the
How?
main character's girlfriend kiss Freddy and make him go away.
Yeah.
Yes. It's never been done, so you
We're-
don't know if it's
We're
gonna work.
we're doing the
You know
second
what?
movie.
You can't tell me that Freddy vs. Jason isn't fun.
I love
Oh.
Freddy versus Jason.
Right?
It's
Freddy vs. Jason is immaculate.
it's probably my favorite horror movie ever, and that is weird to say because it's like it barely constitutes as horror.
Wow. Okay, that's awesome.
But yeah, the best Nightmare movies are the ones that Wes Craven touched.
Yes.
Yes.
Because he wrote the script for Dream Warriors, he wrote and directed both the first Nightmare and New Nightmare.
Although, you know what the best one
And
is?
they're
It's
all
Freddy's Dead.
fantastic.
That's gotta be the best one. I'm kidding.
Anyway, next up, Twisted Metal.
You excited for this?
I'm interested. They got Sweet Tooth nailed down, so there had to be some effort put in.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I also thought the same thing about Halo, and look how that turned out. So I don't know. Like, the clip was fine. It dragged on a lot longer, but like it dragged on a little too long, I should say. But it was yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what's next. Oh, Witcher season 3 trailer is a thing. It's weird seeing his Henry Cavill's face, even though we know this is his last season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get replaced by Liam Hemsworth.
Is that confirmed? That
Yes.
it's Liam Hemsworth?
Yeah, this was like
I didn't see that.
this was like they announced it right after he left. So
Wow, they were really prepared for that.
I don't. They're just like, we need a backup.
We have Liam Hemsworth on the phone.
Can he? Can he act? Get him in the show.
He's a Hemsworth.
It's just a weird choice, like just for this character. I'd much rather they just cancel it after this season, because nobody's gonna stick around and watch season 4 with the Hemsworth.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they should just cap it. Like, you know, give a satisfying ending. I mean, obviously it's too late because they already finished filming, and you know, whatever.
They could do
But
reshoots.
They should. They could, but would they?
Probably not. No.
It would be much better if they just finished with Cavill and just be done with it and have a satisfying, you know, amount of material.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of going on too long with an actor that people aren't attached to.
And who probably can't act.
Oh yeah, I mean, who even knows a movie that William Hemsworth is actually in?
Literally not me.
Yeah, no.
I don't know one.
I
Yep, you
Yeah.
died again.
Yeah, no.
exists is because his last name is.
Yeah. He's just like, I'll be as good as my brother. No, that's not the
No, you
case,
won't.
Liam. Stop it.
You won't. Just because your last name is the same as Chris doesn't mean you can act.
Yeah.
And that's not even a marker of acting because Chris Hemsworth is not like a stellar actor. He's an actor.
Yeah. Michael Jordan shows up. He's just like, stop it. Get some help. Oh, it's so dumb. So I was trying to find other stuff to talk about before we get to Spider-Man, but I don't know if you guys have anything else you want to mention before we talk about Spider-Man.
I mean,
I'm only just
Star
going.
Trek game looks fun.
Oh yeah, Star
Lord
Trek.
of the Rings fun.
Yeah,
So
Star Trek
I
was a
didn't- I
weird.
didn't-
Star Trek was a weird one.
I didn't.
Oh,
What? Oh, he got out again.
did he?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. Yes. I mean, Star Trek. We'll see. Lord of the Rings. I was like, is this Minecraft in Mordor? Because they're tunneling into shit and building. I was like, this literally looks like Minecraft. All right, let's talk about Spider-Man.
Please.
So we didn't get any new gameplay, which I guess was expected. But we did get a release date, which is
It's true.
great.
So
Uh,
exciting.
so I'm gonna
Yeah,
find.
it looks like such a fantastic game.
Comes out October 20th of this year, and I couldn't be more excited. Like,
Me too.
they did show off. They did show off some concept art, and we got our first look at Venom. And I gotta say, he looks
Yes,
amazing.
this is true.
Like the white
We
logo
know.
looks great. I looked at the photo closely. He's got toes, which is like odd, but you know,
I mean, it's more monstrous. It's more monstrous.
yeah. They also mentioned the fact that this is not Eddie Brock.
Big,
Why were
big
people
step
surprised
down.
about that?
I mean, I
They
wasn't, but
shouldn't have been. I mean, but it's such a step down. I hate it when he's not Eddie Brock. So.
I mean,
That doesn't mean it can't. That doesn't mean it can't be good.
That's true.
It's,
Oh yeah, I agree. I just would have
it's
preferred it if it was
it's
Eddie Brock.
Insomniac Spider-Man. Also, I'm glad that they aren't just doing that immediately. Like I could see them doing that down the line, but uh, they should introduce Eddie Brock as just Eddie Brock for a game, instead of introducing him in the game and making him Venom in the game. Like the way Insomniac is, they need to take their time.
hmm
And it was very clear at the end of the first game that Harry was going to be Venom.
Right. I agree. And there was people on Twitter actually, surprisingly today, they were like, I think it's Norman Osborn or Craven. And I'm like, why would it be either of those two?
I don't want
And
it to
they
be
said,
Norman, and I especially don't want it to be Craven.
Me neither. And I said, it's Harry. And he's like, well, it could be like Norman gets the symbiote and then Harry dies because he doesn't have a cure, and Norman getting angry and then he becomes the Green Goblin. Like, that is the most far-fetched thing I've ever heard. I don't think Insomniac would even think to do like that.
Well, based on the gameplay, I think it's pretty clear that Harry had it, and then
Right.
and then Peter gets it, and
Are we
because
talking
of that,
about
Harry
Trudy's
like
or the symbiote?
For the symbiote.
Okay, it sounds a lot like...
and then Harry starts dying because there was that symbiotic relationship or whatever,
Right.
and then so on. I mean,
I
that's
think at
pretty
the
clear.
end of the game, depending on how it goes, Eddie Brock should get the symbiote eventually.
I mentioned this during the stream, but maybe they're just pulling a wall over our eyes. Maybe they're just lying about the fact that it could be Eddie Brock.
It's true, because they didn't
I
say
could-
who it was.
I could see them introducing Eddie Brock at the very least.
Yeah.
Like, have him be a friend. I'd like him to be a friend of Peter's.
Dude, the
because-
Spectacular Spider-Man way is a really good thing.
It's a really good way to introduce him, and
It's like,
it gives a lot more weight.
Maybe they
to
could do the
when
same
he
thing they
becomes
did
Venom.
with. Maybe they could do the same thing they did with Doc Ock, where it's just like they introduce him very early in the game, set up their relationship, build upon it as the game goes on, make Eddie find a reason to hate both Peter and Spider-Man, and then at the very end, or at least by the start of the third act, he gets the suit and becomes.
Yeah, it could.
becomes Venom.
Their relationship could deteriorate because of the symbiote.
Yeah.
Like, because Peter's a jerk.
Mhm.
Also, I could see. This is just speculation from me, but based on how they handled the end of the first game, I could see them making like Peter have to choose. With like if Harry will live or die with the whole symbiote thing,
Right. Yeah.
because I figure that he's like dependent on the symbiote for at least at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's keeping him alive, and he probably has to choose to remove it from him and like get rid of the symbiote entirely at the end of the game.
It makes me wonder though how he'll get rid of the symbiote at first. Like, will it just be because Kurt Connors is working on it, or
is he gonna do the Bell thing?
it's
Also, I'm waiting for Yuri Lowenthal to do Shocker.
Oh yeah.
Chase you from the end of the earth. Cannot escape me.
We just need that to just a cutscene of that to happen.
I require that. I mean, they introduced Shocker in the first game, so there's no reason they can't do that.
And I think they showed in the Craven reveal, they showed that he was, one of the people getting hunted down. So
it's bound to happen.
Yeah,
it better happen.
At least just some interaction between Black Suit, Spidey, and Shocker would be fun. So they didn't show this off in the showcase, but on Twitter they announced the pre-order details as well.
Yeah.
So no matter what version of the game you're getting, because there's a regular version, a digital deluxe version, and then there's also a collector's edition with a statue. And in all of them you get 2 early unlock skins, a gadget, and 3 skill points. So pretty much the case for like the other pre-orders we've gotten before with the first game and Miles Morales. I'll send these guys a photo so they can see. But for
Why
the
would you do that?
Because I'm your friend. But the 2 suits you're getting in all of them are the Arachnite suit for Peter and the Shadow Spider for Miles. And I gotta say, they look really good in game.
Oh, absolutely.
It's interesting too because we're finally getting cape physics in Spider-Man.
It's true. It's true. Also, like, we gotta acknowledge that, like, no matter what suit they add, Insomniac's gonna make it look good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like looking at this first image, like I'm really digging the Shadow Spider from Miles. Like it looks awesome.
It looks fantastic. Mm-hmm.
And even the Arachnite too, like just seeing the hood and the cape and stuff looks really nice. They also have color variants for each suit, so I'm curious to see how that pans out in the grand scheme of the game.
Yeah.
But just for fun, let's see the other pre-order stuff. Let's go over Digital Deluxe first, because so it includes 10 unique suits, 5 for Peter and Miles, and then, of course, additional photo mode items, which I don't care about, and 2 extra skill points. So you have a total of 5. And I know a lot of people were complaining about these suits on Twitter, but I actually like a majority of them. I think they look really cool.
Yeah, they look great.
I will say that Miles definitely got the better selection between the 2 of them.
Oh yeah, I'd say that too. Which is fair because, like, in the first game, I mean, obviously, it was only Peter, and it's good that they upped the ante with having 2 Spider-Men in the same game.
I also like too that we're getting more original designs for Spider people because there's only so many suits from the comics you can pull. So,
and they're really good at the original designs.
Yeah. Out of all of these, my favorites are probably the encoded suit, the biomechanical suit, and this this Power Ranger looking one at the end for Miles.
Yeah.
It looks cool.
Yes, Miles is a Power Ranger now.
Mm-hmm.
It's confirmed.
Yes.
That's gonna be the comic tie-in.
Spider Ranger.
Spider Zord. It's just like the Japanese Spider-Man.
Hmm. Which is a skin that needs to be in one of these games at some point.
True. I mean, Japanese Spider-Man is the reason that Power Rangers exists. So,
Hmm.
just saying.
So we also have this collector's edition, which comes with this 19-inch statue, which looks pretty cool. It's just Miles and Peter fighting Venom, and
It looks so sick.
yeah, it comes with a steelbook, and then it also comes with the digital deluxe edition. So you're getting just pretty much everything in this bundle here. The only thing is that the steelbook does not come with a disc for the game, which is kind of a shame. What do you think, Swifty?
I'm debating on getting it.
Yeah, me too.
Marvel and I were talking about it earlier. He was like, "Should I buy it?" And I'm like, "Look, man, it's worth it probably, but it is a lot of money. Like, is it worth over $200? Is the question."
Yeah, it's $229 US. So that.
Oh my God, U.S. I thought you were gonna say Canadian. I'm like, oh, good. So we have like an extra $15 less.
Yeah.
Nope. Lay that on me.
Oh man, I'm waiting to see what the numbers are in Canadian. Like,
oh God.
I mean, I had the same question when they were releasing the prices for the different versions of Legend of Zelda, the new Legend of Zelda game.
Right, yeah.
And like those collector's editions, I mean that crap is just crazy and unreasonable.
Yeah, no. Oh, this looks so cool though. I'm still debating. I'm still going back and forth in my head whether or not I should get it or not. Oh,
it's a quandary.
It is a quandary. It's a very devious quandary for sure.
Yes.
On the one hand, it's just like, I mean, these suits are probably going to be unlockable anyway, but like,
yeah.
Oh, the statue is so cool. But it's going to hurt my bank account, and I'm probably going to hate myself for it. So
True.
You'll see by release date which one which pre-order I go with.
Yeah, which one that he sends into the group chat.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that is it for the Summer Games Fest stream. It was kind of disappointing. Yeah. A lot of the stuff shown off. There were definitely some highlights for sure, but like, I don't think it was as well executed as the PlayStation Showcase.
I think they just didn't want to show off that much more. Because they're, holding their cards close to their chest.
Yeah.
A lot with this game, and they already showed a good amount at the PlayStation Showcase, so they were being very careful.
That's true, yeah. Because at the PlayStation Showcase, it was like Alan Wake, Spider-Man, Metal Gear, Arkham Origins 2, Assassin's Creed.
That's gonna be the ongoing joke.
Yeah, there's more conferences in the way, and I'm sure if we stream any more of them, the whole joke is just going to be, oh man, when's Arkham Origins Remastered coming?
Or it's just, is this it? Is this Arkham Origins Remastered?
Oh, boy.
At the beginning of Alan Wake, you were just like, Arkham Origins.
Yeah, right. Of course. There was, which game was it? It was Under the Waves. It was the deep sea diving one. I'm just like, that's not Arkham Origins.
That was a really cool one, actually. I really liked that one.
Yeah, I almost forgot too. I forgot to bring up probably the weirdest game in this whole bunch, which is a game called Pal World, which, in their words, is like Pokemon, but with guns.
Yeah. And as it was going, you were like, "This is literally Pokemon."
Yeah, it's Pokemon. And they're shooting like Gatling guns and like semi-automatics. I was almost certain somebody was going to get sued for this. You know what? They still might.
Well,
Yeah, they
actually,
still might. You got a little bit of time.
actually, you'd be surprised how many how many games are made, like specifically indie, that are basically just like there's a game that's basically a Pikmin game, but it's not.
Yeah.
And it's great, by the way. But I mean, it happens all the time.
It's one thing where it's just like they're homaging to a franchise, and then it's another when they're like almost copying character designs to a T.
Also, copyright laws are very dubious. If you just get it like right enough for people to recognize it, so they'll buy it, but also distinct enough that you can't be flagged for it.
Hmm.
And it's really not that hard.
I can't wait for the day when like because people are talking about Batman and Superman going into public domain, and I'm really curious to see what people do with that.
Oh, I will have fun.
Batman horror movie.
I mean, I want to do that right now.
Oh man. Yeah, just have Batman slaughtering everyone. It's like that old 40 serial, The Bat. Just make that and just change it to Batman.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm really curious to see because because they said there'd be other shows happening in the month, so I'm really curious to see what kind of announcements they uh, bring out. I was hoping for like some more bigger titles, like we talked about Wonder Woman, we talked about Iron Man, Captain America, Black Panther game, like that kind of stuff showing up, but that's probably not going to be a while until we see more of those. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a shame, but
Did you hear about the DLC for Shredder's Revenge?
yes, I did. I saw that trailer.
Usagi! Usagi!
Oh, TMNT we're TMNT is doing great.
We're eating good. We are eating good.
We're getting more DLC. We got a new movie on the way, like
And a TV show.
and a TV show. That's right. So yeah, we're doing pretty good this year, and or the next couple of years, I want to say.
I mean, also it's pretty crazy that the TMNT resurgence is coming at the same time as Transformers is getting back on its legs too.
Hmm. Yeah, we're definitely seeing some Transformers content. Fortnite.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Don't even talk to me about that.
Fine. But yeah, I don't have much else to say about the showcase, so I'm gonna leave my thoughts as is. What about you guys?
I think I'm spent.
Out of all these, what would you
On the
say?
showcase.
What would you say you're looking forward to the most?
Oh,
Come on.
It's Sonic.
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 Oh wow. Probably. I mean, I want to say Spider-Man 2, but
It's
also
Alan Wake. I was gonna say it's Alan
yeah,
Wake.
literally.
Well, like I'm so excited for Spider-Man 2, but but Sonic though.
Mm.
Sonic's my baby. I have to stay dedicated.
Baby Sonic is yours and yours alone.
That's true.
I'm in the Spider-Man camp myself, so we're all different. That's unique.
Yeah. I mean, Spider-Man's really close. I gotta tell you.
Yeah.
It's just that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, technically it's Spider-Man 2 because like I'll be playing that day one, I've been looking forward to it since the first game came out. Like, we've all been anticipating it. But out of the other ones, it's Alan Wake. And then Sonic. It's a bit of each.
Those are the 3 headliners for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I guess that's going to be it for this episode. Does anybody have anything to plug for their YouTube channels? Or
So the Puss in Boots video will release at some
Uh-huh.
point. At some point. At some point. I'm stuck. But it's gonna come out.
You're stuck? How do we get you out? Yeah, I'm much anticipated Puss in Boots video, so hopefully all goes well and we'll see it sooner rather than later.
It should be my best video, but it's my brain is sabotaging me.
Yes. Swifty, do you have anything that did you want to mention?
Just check out Intensive Treatment. We're having a lot of fun over there.
Yeah, we're making a whole bunch of videos that are going to be put out like within the next month or so. We're got
They're killing it.
Jam packed.
I mean, also, when are we bringing back AJ Tour?
That's for you two to talk about.
Like, I'm down for it. You know, you just got to tell me when.
Great.
Well, you got a whole summer to do AJ Tour stuff, so.
No, we got a whole year, man. I'm gonna stay open.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, hopefully next week we can do the Spider-Verse spoiler cast, whatever you want to call it, and if not, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself, to be honest. But anyway, have a great night. Thank you all so much for watching, and take care of yourselves. See ya.